Hello everyone, my name is Tom, and I want to ask you guys a question. What is the meaning of life? This is a question that's been asked over and over by different people, and I'm going to give you the best answer. Yep, right here, and it's for free, mind you. Another way you can ask that question of what is the meaning of life is you could ask, what is the purpose of life? Or more specifically, what is the purpose of your life? Now, I'll give you a little story. Mr. Eraser here was a very puzzled and confused eraser. He went throughout his life trying to do different things and trying to figure out what his purpose was. He kept doing and doing and doing, and nothing seemed to make sense. For example, he tried brushing someone's teeth, and that didn't seem to work. Something didn't feel right about that. He tried to hammer in some nails, but when he couldn't hammer in the nails, he felt like, oh, this doesn't make sense. This isn't working. Frustrated still, he tried something else. He tried to cut paper. He tried to cut through paper, but he couldn't cut anything, and nothing was making sense. Until finally, almost about to give up, he goes and asks Mr. Tape. He asks him, Mr. Tape, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Something doesn't feel right in my life. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then Mr. Tape says, in order for you to understand what you're supposed to do, you need to ask your Creator. Ask Him what your purpose is. So, Mr. Eraser goes and asks Mr. Expo, Mr. Expo, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to do? And Mr. Expo says, you have been created to erase. You are an eraser and you've been created to erase. That is your purpose. Mr. Eraser realizes it and goes, oh, I get it. I'm supposed to erase. And Mr. Eraser lived happily ever after knowing his purpose. So the question is, what is your purpose in life? You have to ask your Creator. And your Creator is God the Father in heaven who loves you very much. And your purpose is to worship your Creator. But how do you worship Him? You could do what a lot of people do and, go sing praise and, raise your hands and get really into it. That's one way to worship. You could pray really hard and just pray to God so much. And, that is another form of worship. Let me tell you about my favorite way to worship. My favorite way to worship is to just revel in the reality of God and be overflowed with that joy. Oh, when that reality hits you about what Jesus has done and who God really is and how real Jesus is, when that reality hits you, you can't help but feel overwhelmed with joy and happiness. And just reveling in that truth is a form of worship. I'll give you an example that maybe you can relate to. Let's say you really wanted to get a job at Disneyland. You've been hoping and praying for this job at Disneyland. You applied and you're waiting and waiting, and then finally get the good news back, and they tell you, yes, you got the job. But then you have kind of a delayed reaction. You're expecting to be super happy, but you're just, kind of in shock still. It hasn't quite hit you. And you're going about your life. You keep hearing the same thing. Oh, you got the job. Congratulations. Oh, you got the job. Oh, this is great. You are working at Disneyland. And you keep hearing it and just feeling like okay about it until finally one day it hits you and you break out of that shock and you go, oh my God, I'm going to work at Disneyland, the happiest place on earth. And that reality sets in. That's the reality I'm talking about. When that reality hits you, you can't help but feel so happy and overwhelmed with joy. The reality of Jesus, when it hits you, you get overwhelmed with joy, knowing that your Creator did so much for you. Oh, Jesus, I am a child of God. Oh, Jesus, you died for me and gave me life. You did all these amazing things. And bam, 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 all these truths, when they sink in, you can't help but worship in your heart. Thinking about those great truths and just reveling in that joy is a form of worship, guys. And that's my favorite form, focusing on this reality. So focus on that reality. Let it overtake you and just, thank Jesus, your Creator. Thank God, your Creator.